Imagine a world with no hunger, no cold, no predators, no disease. Imagine a city where you have unlimited food, unlimited water, and a perfect climate every single day of your year. You do not have to work, you do not have to fight, you do not have to struggle to survive. You just have to exist. It sounds like heaven. It sounds like the utopia we are all striving for. But what if I told you that this heaven does not lead to happiness? What if I told you that it leads to madness, to violence, to the total extinction of the species? This is not a theory, it is a biological fact. In 1968, a scientist named John B. Calhoun decided to play God. He built a perfect world for mice. He gave them everything they could ever want. And then he watched. He expected them to thrive. Instead, he watched them turn into monsters. He watched mothers eat their own babies. He watched males turn into beautiful ones who did nothing but groom themselves and stare into space. He watched a society collapse not because of a lack of resources, but because of a lack of struggle. Tonight, we are looking into the mirror of Universe 25. We are going to analyze the terrifying concept of the behavioral sink, and we are going to ask the most dangerous question in the modern world. Are we the mice? Are our cities, our social media, and our endless comforts turning us into the beautiful ones who are destined for extinction? Welcome to the anatomy of the apocalypse. To understand why a perfect world kills the mind, you have to understand the biology of social stress. We tend to think that stress comes from starvation or danger. But there is a different kind of stress. The stress of density. Every animal, including humans, has a biological need for space and role. You need to feel that you have a purpose, that you are necessary. In the wild, survival is your purpose. You hunt, you build, you protect. But what happens when survival is guaranteed? The brain panics. It has all this energy, but nowhere to direct it. Creates a spirit void. The dopamine system, which is designed to reward effort, begins to short-circuit. Without the struggle, the brain stops producing the chemicals necessary for social bonding and empathy. It retreats into narcissism. This is the evolutionary trap. We are built to climb mountains. If you flatten the mountain, we don't know how to walk. The architect of this nightmare was John B. Calhoun. He was an ethologist, a man who studies animal behavior. But he wasn't interested in the wild. He was interested in the city. In the 1960s, the world was terrified of overpopulation. Everyone believed that we would run out of food. We would starve to death. Calhoun disagreed. He believed that food wasn't the problem. He believed the problem was the crunch, the psychological weight of too many bodies in one place. He wanted to prove it. So, he took over a massive laboratory at the National Institute of Mental Health in Maryland. He built a box. It was huge, 9-foot square metal pen with walls high enough that no mouse could escape. He called it Universe 25. He designed it to be a paradise. He installed huge food hoppers that could feed thousands of mice. He installed water dispensers that never ran dry. He built 256 nesting boxes apartment complexes for mice. He kept the temperature at a perfect 68 degrees. He instituted a strict cleaning protocol to ensure there was no disease. There were no cats, no owls, no traps. It was the Garden of Eden. On day 0, he introduced the Adams and Eves, 4 pairs of mice, 8 healthy, genetically diverse animals. They were released into the silence of the box, and the clock started ticking toward the end of the world. Phase A. The striving period, day 0 to day 104. At first it was paradise. The mice explored. They realized they were in a land of plenty. They established territories. They built nests. They began to breed. The population doubled every 55 days. It was a golden age. They were happy. They were functional. This is the phase of exploitation. They were using the resources exactly as intended. Calhoun watched and took notes. He saw that the mice were forming standard social hierarchies. There were alpha males holding the best apartments. There were females raising litters. It looked like a success story. Phase B. The boom, day 104 to day 315. The population exploded. From dozens to hundreds. From hundreds to 600. The box was getting crowded. But remember, there was no shortage of food. There was no shortage of apartments. The physical needs were met. But the social needs were starting to fracture. In a normal mouse society, young mice grow up and move out. They find new territory. But in Universe 25, there was nowhere to go. The physical wall prevented expansion, so the young mice had to stay. They had to challenge the older males for territory. Well, the older males didn't die. There were no predators. They stayed strong and healthy, so the young males couldn't win. They became the rejected. They gathered in the center of the pen, the public square. They stopped trying to find purpose. They became a huddled mass of depressed, anxious bodies. They would sleep all day. But at night, they would wake up and attack each other. Not for territory, not for food. For nothing. Senseless, random violence born of frustration. They would bite each other's tails. They would tear each other's fur. This was the first sign of the behavioral sink, the breakdown of social order. Phase C, the stagnation day 315 to day 560. The population hit 2,200. This was the peak, and this is where the horror truly began. The society split into terrifying castes. First, the aggressive females. Because the males had given up defending the nests, why defend a nest when there are no predators? The females had to become the warriors. They became hyper-aggressive, but they were stressed. They started attacking their own babies. They would give birth, and then, in a fit of density-induced rage, they would kill the litter, or they would just forget them. They would drop a baby while moving it and never come back. The floor of Universe 25 became a graveyard of abandoned infants. Second, the somnambulists, the sleepwalkers. These were mice that tried to avoid all conflict. They moved slowly. They crept around the edges of the box. They only ate when everyone else was asleep. They were ghosts. They had socially died before they physically died. And third, the most chilling group of all. The beautiful ones, these were the new generation of males. They looked different. They had no scars. Their fur was perfect. They were healthy. Why? Because they had withdrawn completely from society. They did not fight. They did not court females. They did not breed. They did not help. They spent 100% of their time eating, sleeping, and grooming themselves. They were obsessed with their own appearance. They were narcissists. They looked at the chaos around them, the violence, the cannibalism, and they just turned away and licked their fur. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones because they were physically perfect, but spiritually dead. They had lost the capacity for complex behavior. They were biologically alive, but psychologically extinct.
you
So how do you escape Universe 25? How do you prevent the death of the spirit in a world of abundance? You need the anti-atrophy protocol. Rule number 1, manufacture struggle, voluntary hardship. The mice died because they had no struggle. You must reintroduce struggle into your life. But it must be voluntary. Go to the gym and lift heavy weights. It's not to look good, but to feel the resistance. Take cold showers. Fast for 24 hours. Learn a skill that is incredibly difficult. You need to remind your dopamine system that reward comes after effort. If you get the reward without the effort, porn, junk food, scrolling, you are training your brain to be a beautiful one. You are training yourself for extinction. Embrace the suck. The suck is what keeps you alive. Rule number 2, the tribal limit Dunbar's number. Our brains are designed to handle about 150 relationships. Social media forces us to handle thousands. This creates the density stress. You must artificially limit your tribe. Stop caring about the opinions of strangers on the internet. Focus your energy on the 5 people closest to you. Deepen those bonds. Conflict with people you love is healthy. It is social grooming. Withdrawal is death. Do not text, call, do not call. Visit, fight the urge to isolate. The isolation feels safe, like the mouse grooming itself in the corner, but it is a trap. Rule number 3, create a role. The rejected mice died because they had no role in the society. Society doesn't give you a role, you must invent one. Do not just be a consumer. Be a creator. Be a helper. Volunteer. Mentor someone. Build a garden. Fix a car. You need to look at your hands and say, I made this. I matter. If your only identity is what you buy or what you look like, you are disposable. If your identity is what you do asterisk, you are essential. John B. Calhoun looked into the box and saw the end of the world. He saw that Utopia is not a paradise. It is a test. And right now, humanity is taking that test. We are standing in the box. The food is plentiful. The predators are gone. And we have a choice. Do we sit in the corner and groom ourselves until we die? Or do we find a new way to be human? The last mouse in Universe 25 didn't know he was the last one. He just sat there, waiting. Don't wait. Break the glass. This is Mysteria. The cage is open. Walk out.